as we've said several times now, Superman, the character seems quite outdated. A lot of people, he's portrayed as this perfect guy, and generally people don't like perfect. Do you think that's part of the problem?
I think
For example, Batman is clearly a flawed man. Iron Man is clearly a flawed man. A lot of people have a problem with Superman being so overpowered. The Hulk is also incredibly strong as well, but clearly that's a flawed character. Superman comes across as perfect, at least. Maybe he isn't, but he definitely comes across that way.
I think
Do you think that's an issue with
I
the
think
common person?
a lot of the reasons characters have an easy way to write a character is if they have a clear flaw and you have to like work around that and do arcs around it and shit. So like Iron Man's an alcoholic, well, maybe not in the films, but in the comics. And Spider Man's really like nervous and insecure in a way. You know, people have like these flaws, but because Superman doesn't have such an obvious, easy to hit one, it's a lot harder. But if you watch
Yeah.
if you read the good comics or the good Superman stuff, what they do is you've got a writer who really, really understands what it is that connects people to Superman. And every hero is something that connects them to people. It's something that people want to be like in that hero. It's Batman. Just being fucking awesome. Everyone reads Batman because they want to be that awesome fucking kick-ass dude. When it's Iron Man, it's always having like a line to go with and just being super clever. With Superman, it's just being that really good person and doing what's right, even when it's really hard. And I think if you watch Superman versus the Elite, which is a 2012 film, like Superman saying, "Yo, we shouldn't kill supervillains. It's wrong." Then you got other superheroes coming up, and they're all like, "Nah, we should kill supervillains. You fucking mental, mate." They're like doing all this bad shit. Doesn't make any sense. Just kill them dead. And the whole world is against Superman. So you've got this Superman as this bastion of morality, and as a watcher, you're questioning his perspective as well. It's not like clear cut,
Yeah.
and that puts him in a much more interesting place because you've got him against everyone else, and that forces him to question where he's coming from. So when it's written in the right way, it can be really good, but it is a lot harder to write. And I think in Man of Steel, they just didn't know what it is that connects people to Superman. Because if you watch Man of Steel, there's nothing about Cavill's Superman, not necessarily his fault as an actor, but the way it's written, that
Yeah.
is aspirational. You don't think, man, I want to be like that guy. He looks awesome. Generally, people came away like the fighting was good, but it's a bit mopey.
Yeah.
And without that aspirational sense to it, I mean, even in the Winter Soldier and stuff, and Civil War, and the Captain America movies, Captain America is inspirational in his own way. Like him starting out such a tiny guy in the original movies, and then getting that strength and still having the same good heart. It's really, really, really cool. Like in when he was like 4'10" or whatever shitty height he was, and skinny as a rake. Like someone just chucked a grenade and he dived on it to save his mates. It's just like wow, that is even though they're picking him, that is really aspirational. And he's still the same guy. When he's fighting Bucky, he uses the same like lines and he sees the world in the same way, and that's really, really cool. And it's the same thing with Superman. As long as you tap into what makes that character so unique and so cool, then people will connect with it. But if you just try and make him Batman, and you just sort of half-ass it as well, it's just not going to work.
It's funny, a lot of people say that about Man of Steel, but more so in Batman versus Superman. I read a lot of that in the comments. The whole trying to make him like Batman comment. Before Man of Steel, I think a year before, The Dark Knight Rises came out. And obviously, the Dark Knight trilogy was very successful. So, and Christopher Nolan was also a part of Man of Steel. So everyone was like, this is a Superman's Christopher Nolan reboot. And Superman and Batman are opposites in a lot of ways. And yeah, I don't know if that was the right way to go. Man of Steel, it's not a. I don't think it's a terrible film. It's not the best representation of Superman at all.
Mm.
And I think overall in the DCU, Superman has been portrayed rather poorly. Yeah, so I definitely agree with you on that.
I think the one thing they got right about him in the DCEU is that he beats up Wonder Woman. I think that was right on point, that one.
Fuck you, man. God.